Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician. Today we're going to be going back into my toolbox and doing part 2 of my toolbox tour. I have the Husky flat black 52-inch toolbox. I also have a Matco toolbox as well as some tool bags. If you guys want to see a video on the Matco box or the tool bags, please let me know down in the comments. But today, part 2 of this video, we're going to be going through the lower half of my toolbox. In the first part, we went over the top half. It is a more detailed video. This isn't a quick toolbox tour. If you guys want quick toolbox tours in the future, please let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I like to spend a little bit of time going over what tools and what brands I actually own and my thoughts on them. I'll try not to make it too long for you guys, but no guarantees. Also, I will have 2 links down in the description that says tools and tools continued. Those are going to be 2 links that take you to a long list of tools that I suggest or tools that I've went over in the past, as well as a lot of the tools in the toolbox. But if you guys see a specific tool or set in there that you guys would like the link to, please feel free to drop a comment down below. I'll do my best to find you the best deal on that product, and I'll put it down in the comments. So hopefully that helps. But let's go ahead and check out the bottom half of my toolbox, and I really hope you guys enjoy. If you guys do, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure to subscribe. Let's get into this. So like I stated in the intro, part 1 goes over these 6 top drawers here as well as the top cabinet. And if you guys would like to see a video on the overflow Matco toolbox and my tool bags, please let me know down in the comments. But today we're going to be going over from this big drawer down. This is my specialty drawer. We're not going to go and open up everything. I'll just kind of go over what's in there. And then this is kind of my don't look at drawer because it's just full of a bunch of random stuff. But we'll look at it just so you can see. But we'll start at the top. The long drawer is my wrench drawer. As far as organizers, we have the toolbox widget, and then recently I picked up some of the Tecton or Ernst made in the USA modular organizer, and I really enjoy these. These are the spares that I have, and I'm going to be ordering more, and eventually I'll probably do the wrench drawer. This box is also outfitted with the toolbox widget, which I really enjoyed, but the new modular one from Ernst is just really nice. I really like the white base and everything really about it. Over here we have the 22-piece gear wrench set that goes up to 32 millimeter. These are all metric, and they do have a little bit extra length to them than your standard combination wrench. These are 12 points, and they have a soft anti-slip feature in the open end. As you can see there, nothing too aggressive like some of my Matco ones, but great little set. I think I picked that up for like something like 70 or 75 bucks. But that was many years ago. Now it's around $100 to $140 depending on when you find it. This is the Capri ratcheting wrench set, the metric. It does have a more aggressive anti-slip feature up in the open end, but still a very good wrench set. That goes up to 19 millimeter. This one goes from 6 millimeter to 32, and this one is from 8 millimeter to 19 millimeter, kind of your standard size ratcheting wrench set. Then over here is a set of the Gear Wrench 120 XP long double box end ratcheting wrenches with spline drive. And this set I actually won on Instagram, I believe. And I love these. I have 3 different sets of extra long double box ends, but these are really nice just because it's flex head ratcheting on one end and a solid on the other, which I like to use this end for breaking fasteners loose. Here I just have the Tecton stubby wrenches. This is the metric set. SAE set, all the SAEs over here. These are my deep offsets from Gear Wrench. Don't use these all that often, but it is nice to have them when necessary. Here I just have a random Matco 3/8 in the back and a long Matco 3/8 here, which is the same design as the Gear Wrench 120 XPs, but with a different gear mechanism. Then we have the flare nut wrenches over here. These are going to be SAE and metric, both from Gear Wrench. They're decent. And then over here I have my Matco spline drive SAE set, and that's going to go from 1/4 inch up to 15/16, and then that's what I primarily use. I just keep a little bit of SAE in here. The larger SAE is going to be in the top of the Matco box, but that's it as far as my wrench drawer. We'll start over here, and this is organized by Trace My Space, and I had this done a few years ago. These are my Gear Wrench SAE and metric flex head ratcheting wrenches. And then this is my Matco magnetic spark plug socket set. Love that set, but you can get it from ABN, Gear Wrench, and many other brands sell almost identical sets to this, but for much cheaper. Moving down, we have a couple of the Gear Wrench long locking 84 tooth ratchets, and I've really enjoyed the 84 tooth ratchets actually, and I have their 90 tooth and their 120 XPs, and these have still done very well. I like that they're locking flex heads. The 84 tooth is still great for tight situations. It's a comfort grip, and you got extra length to it, and that's just going to be 1/4 inch and 3/8. We have some of these that I picked up at like AutoZone or O'Reilly's or one of the parts stores. They're just kind of specialty sockets that I never use. This one is a spline drive, and this one is the Xenon sockets. I don't know. Once again, I don't know why I still have them. I have actual sockets that are for rounded off fasteners and stuff, but I don't know. It's hard to get rid of things. Then I have the snap-on 1/4 inch drive extensions, Wobble Plus extensions, the 3/8 Wobble Plus extensions, and then the Gear Wrench just standard extension set. Then moving down, we have my grip hammer set. This is once again laid out with the Trace My Space organizer. You know, it was like a $30-$40 set maybe 6-7 years ago, and while it's probably not one that I would get for the professional field, for home use they have held up very, very well. And unfortunately, the set isn't available anymore to buy like this, but if you look up grip hammers, you can find each one of these for around $6 to $15, so you could still put together the set basically the same price. But I do know a couple of the hammers are discontinued or they've just changed designs, but overall I'm very happy for the price that I paid on that set. This is the drawer I was talking about. It has a lot of my mechanic books and study material from when I went to college, and stickers and tape, and then I just have some excess heat. This is just a drawer of miscellaneous stuff. A lot of chargers and stuff buried in there as well. Getting on over here, this is going to be my metric drawer. So here we have the Gear Wrench 120 XPs. These are just going to be the standard ratchets, no flex head or anything like that. The 1/2 inch drive, not one that I really use. I've had this set for many, many years, and I can count on both hands how many times I've used this, just because when I'm going to a 1/2 inch drive ratchet, not using an impact, normally I'm going for my big guy, something with a lot more length. So unfortunately, when it comes to 1/2 inch drive ratchets, I don't find myself using normal length ones, but the 1/4 inch and 3/8 have held up very, very well, and I'm extremely pleased with these ratchets. The 120 XP is a dual pull. It's a 60 tooth gear and 3-degree arc swing, and I haven't had any issues, so I'm very, very pleased with these ratchets. Over here are the Ulsa tools. I believe these are 90 tooth roto head ratchets. For the longest time, I was not a fan of the roto head ratchets just because of the back drag on them. And once again, this is a 1/2 inch drive, so I don't ever use this one. But while the back drag is still more than a standard design ratchet, the back drag on these compared to like the Pittsburgh and the Gear Wrench that I've owned in the past, it's much less on these. So these are the ones I decided to keep, and I ended up getting rid of the others just because I can't stand a heavy back drag. Then I have the Gear Wrench compact head ratchets here. This is a 3/8 stubby ratchet with a very compact head profile. This is the 90 tooth design. Here's just the longer version of it, also still 3/8. Basically the same length. They've just really slimmed down the head on this. Really kind of a cool little ratchet set. Like I said, this is my metric drawer, so these are all going to be metric, starting at 1/4 inch and moving to 1/2 inch drive. Up front, we have some Tecton 12 points, as well as Tecton 6 points. We have the Gear Wrench universal sockets. These are DeWalt. I bought a DeWalt set 7-8 years ago, the 192 piece set. If you guys follow the channel, you guys know I've mentioned it many times on my Amazon tool deal videos. Fantastic socket set. They provide you with a lot of different sockets and a good selection of it, and not a bunch of that filler stuff. So a lot of these are actually DeWalt. I have a lot of Silver Eagle and Matco and stuff over here, but this is my primary go-to box. This is the Capri 3H drive set that I recently got, and So this one's still fairly new with the Westling organizer, made in the USA. Fantastic organizer, but the rest is organized by the Toolbox widget. 1/4 inch, 3/8, 3/8 impact, more 3/8 impact. This is my original 3/8 impact set before the Capris, and these are just gear wrench. They've held up okay. It's definitely a different coating, tends to actually chip away rather than wear. So the gear wrench ones, as far as quality, they've held up well. The coating, on the other hand, not the greatest. This is also a gear wrench set back here, and you can tell there's quite a difference there in coatings. Then back here, this is a mixture of DeWalt, and then I had to fill in some spots. I have some random sizes, like I had to go online and figure out which ones I was missing and fill in the blanks. Probably sockets I'll never use, but I don't like missing sockets. So like this one ended up being too tall on here to actually fit in the drawer, so I had to sit it down here. These are the Harbor Freight magnetic nut setters, and these things have been fantastic. I've owned them for many years, and I had a magnet fall out of one of them, and I super glued it back in, and after that never had an issue with any of the others. But I think it was under $10, I believe, and they've been fantastic, absolutely fantastic. This is the 10mm socket set from Gear Wrench, and that's really it. I have a Matco flip socket set there, but that's it as far as my metric drawer. Then down here I have my SAE drawer, not as much. This is actually also Tools metric set. I just didn't have any room up here anymore. But I was actually very, very surprised by the Also Tools quality. The chrome job, the fit and finish on these sockets are absolutely fantastic for the price. You can catch them on sale, a set like this for $20 or $25, and just very, very impressed with those. Once again, Tekton and DeWalt sockets. The bit sockets are going to be primarily DeWalt, and then I think I have some Power Build or Duralast. Yeah, Duralast in here. 3/8 drive universal sockets again, some universal joints, and then we move into 3/8, 3/8 impact and 1/2 inch impact, and then my 1/2 inch sockets, not nearly as many, but once again, I don't use SAE nearly as much, but I still do, so I still got to keep a decent amount. Over here we have some more of my ratchets. This is the Tekton 90 tooth ratchet that I turned it down on a lathe and installed their USA made multi-bit screwdriver handle on here. Turned out fantastic. I love this handle. And then about a year after I did this, Tekton finally came out with their Comfort Grip, which has been fantastic. It's a little bit different design, a little bit different shape, but it's still very comfortable. They did a good job on it. And then this is the Also Tools USA made long 3/8 drive flex head ratchet. This is the old SK ratchets before SK went to China, and so this USA made ratchet is very smooth and a fantastic ratchet. I don't know what Also Tools is going to do about warranties in the future if SK doesn't provide these ratchets anymore. Then we have the Gear Wrench 90 tooth ratchets. Once again, this is the 1/2 inch drive. It's a little bulkier as far as the handle, and this one's got a little bit of use. But like I said, anytime I'm using 1/2 inch, this is my primary semi-locking flex head 120 XP. But the 90 tooths have held up very well. The handles are comfortable. But if you guys are looking for a good 90 tooth alternative and a comfort grip and no flex head or anything like that, if you're just looking for this design right here, the new Quinn 90 tooth ratchets are a very good option if you're looking to save a little bit of money. I did a breakdown of this one versus a Quinn, and very, very impressed with the Quinn, so go ahead and check that video out. But once again, here's my 120 XP long ratchet set, semi-locking flex heads, and I've had that one for a very long time. I bought this one and this one together, and been very pleased with the 120 XPs. Moving down, another one organized by Trace My Space. This is the Tekton file set. I don't even know if they still have it. Here I had a Capri ball peen dead below, but I gave it away to my buddy for Christmas and just put my Tekton one in here, made in the USA. It was also a 36 ounce, so there wasn't any need for me to have 3 36 ounce of the same hammer, so I kept the USA made ones and got rid of the Capri one. Still a great hammer, just figured he could get some use out of it. Tekton brass hammer. Don't use this all that much, but it is always nice to have one just in case, especially when I'm working on fuel tanks and stuff like that. That's always nice to have. Same thing with these brass punches, also made in the USA by Mayhew, I believe it is, if I remember correctly. Here's just a center punch, and then the old Tekton punch and chisel set. This one gets use every now and again, but I have 3 or 4 other punch and chisel sets that are made in the USA that perform very well. The issue with these is anytime you smack them, this red paint ends up chipping off the back of it, which isn't a big deal, but it can get kind of annoying. But as far as durability, they've been just fine the times that I've used them. And then I have the Craftsman Pry Bar set up here, and they've been great, also made in the USA. And you can get them from Master Force at Menards for like 24 bucks. The Craftsman one was like 36 bucks. Same thing with the Tekton. I think the prices went up to like 40 bucks. I think Channel Lock has the same one. Hyper Tough has the same ones. There's a lot of brands selling these. I want to say these are made by Wild, if I remember correctly. But either way, all of them made by the same company, sold by many brands, but fantastic USA made pry bars. But you can get them as low as basically $25 for this 3-piece set. And then last drawer is kind of my specialty drawer. We're not going to go through everything. I'm just going to kind of quickly run through it. Here's just a Dremel accessory. This is my Doyle nut setter set, which I've used for running transcooler lines and harness bars and many other things. Just a great little tool to have. Here's my OEM tools no spill coolant funnel. This thing's okay. There's actually a design from Swan Lake that I really like that I may end up swapping this one out for. Bits and accessories for my rotary tool and stuff down here. Blades for my rotary tool, which I use the Wen rotary tool, which is way better than any actual Dremel brand rotary tool that I've ever owned. Seal driver set, pulley puller, Noid light set, brake bleeder, absolute junk. Bought this on eBay or Amazon like 5-6 years ago. Can't stand that thing. I just use this little Mountain Dew bottle with a hose in it and some brake fluid, and that works way better than this set. I don't know why I even still have this piece of junk in here. This thing, the handle constantly gets stuck. Definitely cheap stuff. I mean, I paid something like 20 bucks for this thing, so I couldn't expect much, but I was not impressed whatsoever by this unit. The primary issue is this operation of this handle here. It constantly got stuck and would not pull vacuum on it. Then this is an old Matco thread repair kit, a Matco tap and die set, compression tester, quick disconnect set, the sensors, just literally any, O2 sensors, any sensors like that. It's got a lot of different variety sensor sockets in there. This is my Wen Dremel. I absolutely love. I've probably used this thing 100, 200 times over the last 5-6 years. And this thing is an absolute beast for 20 bucks. So I will never spend money on a Dremel rotary tool again. If this thing ever burns up, I will happily pay $20 to get a new one. Then we have a lug nut socket set that keep my primary one out right here. Harmonic balance puller, my endoscope. This is the Tesla endoscope, and this saved me when I dropped a nut down my distributor hole and had to fish it out of the engine. Luckily, I was able to find it in my oil pan. And then here we have my coil spring compressor, which did a great job when I put the lift kit on my truck. Then we have all of my torque wrenches. This is the 1/4-inch torque wrench from Tekton. Really nice little locking sleeve here. I wish they would do all of their torque wrenches like that. Then I have my Matco 1/2-inch drive torque wrench, also with a nice locking sleeve. My Matco stubby 3/8, Matco 1/2-inch breaker bar. Tekton's more affordable torque wrenches, just your generic design, basically the same thing that you find in the Pittsburgh ones, with the adjusting nut down here in order to actually lock it down. So if you're a DIYer weekend warrior, these things are fantastic, but if you're working in the professional field, constantly making adjustments, something with a quick sleeve is definitely the better option. Then I have the Tekton 3/8 drive split beam torque wrench. This thing is, I believe, much nicer than the Tekton standard design. but these do come at a little bit heavier price than the more generic design. And then I have my serpentine belt tool down here, and then there you can see that's the hose and original bottle that I bought in order to build my brake bleeder over there instead of using that hunk of junk that I have. And that is it as far as my 52-inch flat black toolbox from Husky. That bottom drawer is probably a little bit overloaded for what it should be. It's the only drawer that doesn't shut, you know, with the soft close, just because I think it's a little overrated, but we won't get into that. Overall, that's it as far as my toolbox tour. If you guys are interested in seeing more of this over here, please let me know down in the comments. Once again, check that out if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time. Once again, a lot of these will be linked down in the description underneath the Tools and Tools Continued link, and I will also answer any of your guys' questions as quickly as possible. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. See you guys next time.